people are coming out of every corner to weigh in on the drone sightings in the Northeast. Even current Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg had something to say. Let's watch.
Donald Trump was on with Joe Rogan. They had a whole conversation about aliens, not the kind he wants to deport, actual extraterrestrials. Then Cliff High said 39 days after that interview, we were going to start having an alien invasion. Around December 3rd, that's when all of these SUV-sized drones, which I've even seen, started getting seen over Jersey. Is it an alien invasion?
I mean, no disrespect to New Jersey when I say that I think it's very unlikely that an alien invasion would begin.
Watch your mouth. We lived it.
I know, but
Dang.
but no.
Nobody wants to come to Jersey.
I love New Jersey. I'm just saying, I don't think that's the kind of main point of entry that an extraterrestrial, unless there's something we don't know
You don't
about.
think aliens want to tan and go to the Jersey Shore or something?
After watching a video that floated a theory about the unmanned devices searching for harmful substances, podcasting giant Joe Rogan posted this on X. This is the first video about these drones that has got me genuinely concerned. Here's some of that clip, which was also played yesterday on Rising.
The only reason why you would ever fly an unmanned aircraft at night, is if you're looking for something, whether it be a person or trying to smell gas. We also have special sensors that can detect radioactive material.
And Republican lawmaker Nancy Mace piled on, accusing the U.S. government of not being, quote, forthcoming about the mysterious drones. She has said aliens could explain what has been happening in New Jersey.
Oh, aliens. I think it's exciting enough to talk about the drones themselves, which are mysterious in and of themselves. It has become this topic of national fascination for, I think, understandable reasons, right? It is the combination of the unusualness of the event, the idea that the government isn't telling the truth about it, and people do have legitimate fears, like some of these drones have been over very sensitive sites and so forth. I think they were over one of Trump's residences at one point. There was also a naval facility they were over. So look, I get why people are concerned. I just am wary of us getting into the whole, well, it's the aliens coming to kill us all mode of thought.
I've said this before, Niall, you're not allowed to be skeptical on this. I get to be the skeptic for once because I too do not think it is aliens. I think if there are alien spacecrafts or bodies of alien pilots that were recovered by the U.S. government, and you, I address the viewer directly right now, have knowledge of this, come forward and tell us where they are. I don't want to hear anything more from whistleblowers saying they know a guy who knows exactly where it is. I want to hear from that guy, and I don't want excuses that they won't let me talk to you. No. We will protect you. I will protect you. I will shield you with my own body.
Sit in the middle here.
Yeah, you can sit back here so that if somebody's going to be, sniper fire, I will die instead.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's the whole problem with the UFO thing, right? It's always about, like, I know something which I'm not able to provide the evidence to back up. Yes. And that's why there's such doubt about it. I do think that it does just the drone story does lend itself to all these esoteric explanations. Whenever, again, to get back to the point that we have previously discussed, it would be I don't really get, if it is a government program, why they don't just come out and say it is a classified government program. We can't tell you the details, it's sensitive, but they're ours. Yeah, now, maybe they aren't.
They're liars, because they never do that.
Yeah, but it's like, I don't really get where the harm would be, I suppose, if they are adamant that
there would not be harm. There would be a benefit because people would be less paranoid about it. That's clearly what's gone on, but our government feels no accountability and feels no need to casually inform the American public when they're doing things like this, when they're doing experimental technology. They don't want your scrutiny. They don't want to be subjected to democratic forces. What if the people had some kind of check to say, well, actually, we don't want you doing that. Yeah. We don't like you flying things over our houses. No, thank you. No. They don't even want to create a veto point, so they're not going to say, yeah, we're doing this.
Well, but in the process of taking that approach, it seems to me you raise the chances of somebody, going out to their backyard and taking a pot shot at one way or another, or trying to bring them down from the air.
Yeah, and then they'll charge that person with domestic terrorism.
Yeah, and if the drone lands on somebody's house, it could have very serious effects, which is why, I don't think people should be shooting down drones. But there's all sorts of problems with this.
Yeah, there is, and then there will be a lot of reporting by mainstream media calling people deluded or crazy or conspiratorial for wondering about these things.
Right.
We're already starting to see some of that. Even though in independent media there's a healthy skepticism of establishment narratives, and there's an interest in this topic from both sides, from your Joe Rogan type people who are now more associated explicitly with the right, and Charlamagne the God, who's pretty not associated with the Democratic Party necessarily, but certainly with progressives and with the left, both having this kind of like, are we allowed to ask what's going on here?
Yeah, because it seems so ridiculous otherwise. I think that's the problem. That it does seem, I think you used the word yesterday, gaslighting, where it does seem like there is a fairly obvious truth that we are being trying to got around, or is trying to be evaded in some way, or trying to be covered up. So I think that is not helpful. I also do wonder how long this whole thing is going to go on, because the longer it goes on, I think the sharper those questions become. It becomes more difficult for the government to say why they are not taking any action if they're going to contend that these are somehow, objects that they have no control over. And so the longer it goes on, the sharper those questions become, I would have thought.
Well, when Donald Trump takes office, we discussed earlier in the show his comments on this, saying he thinks it's some government thing that they're not telling you about. Once he's president, he could just tell us explicitly what it is.
He could, or he could say he'll tell us in 2 weeks, which tends to be his fallback option for things that he doesn't really want to say. But
I could tell you, but I can't tell you.
You can keep it as classified information. We can
We can. He can. When he's president, he can declassify it with his magic declassification powers.
With his broad powers of declassification,
which I would like to see more of. I would like to see things declassified. I still want, I say this all the time, the viewers might get sick of hearing it, the COVID origins investigation. There was a mandate to declassify it. Congress passed it on a nearly unanimous bipartisan basis. President Biden signed it into law. We were supposed to get the exact intelligence that led the FBI and the Energy Department to conclude that COVID was more likely to have come from a lab. It's 2 agencies that made that determination. I suspect, now, you start to imagine what kind of smoking gun could be offered. One of those would be incontrovertible evidence that the scientists at the lab in Wuhan were sick with flu-like conditions, something that the Wall Street Journal has reported, Michael Schellenberger has reported on this program, have seen evidence indicating that the scientists at the lab were sick with flu-like conditions before the wet market outbreak. That would be pretty conclusive evidence to my mind. So if they have something like that, that would help. That would kind of put it away for us. Yeah. So I would like to see that information, and Congress and Biden indicated that they should do that. And what instead we got was a press release saying what we already know, which is, well, we think this. Not explaining why. No. I want declassification, actual declassification.
Well, and I think on that particular topic, separate from the broader debate about COVID and vaccines and all of that, on the specific issue of the lab leak, to the point that you were mentioning earlier in the drones, I think there is now quite a lot of not even bipartisan's the wrong word, just across the spectrum, curiosity about what exactly happened there because of some of the reporting that has come out from very reputable organisations about that would seem to be supportive of the lab leak.
And I just want to know for sure. It's only like one of the most consequential things to happen in the last 100 years. Yeah. No. We would like to know.
Yeah. Seems like there is a public interest in that one, for sure.
Indeed. Stick around, more Rising right after this.